Hello, welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin. I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And in accordance with what I try to do on this channel is be authentic and tell my truth, right? For the last 2.5 years, I've been uh, consistently practicing the Wim Hof breathing method, this breathing technique, and doing the cold exposure training. And I have several videos on here. I'll link them about me and my cold exposure and me and my breathing and how they've radically changed my life, right? And, anybody whoever asks, because I'm walking around in shorts and a t-shirt with no coat on in the winter, aren't you cold? I was like, honestly, no, I'm not cold, and I'm doing this for my immune system, right? And I also tell them that I haven't been sick in a number of years. Not allergy, not cold, nothing, which was 1,000% true. Till this week. I never questioned, the validity of the Wim Hof training, either the cold exposure or the breathing. Because I did some research, right? I looked at different videos and authors who've written on the subjects, and explaining very well what the autonomic system does and the benefits of both the shock from the cold exposure and the other shock of the heavy breathing that you do in the Wim Hof training, right? They put your body into fight or flight, so your immune system's constantly at work, right? Constantly. So anything that it's recognized as a virus, a disease, inflammation, boom, it's on it right away. And for the last 2.5 years, that's what it's been like for me. It got rid of anything. I lost weight. I'm stronger now than ever. I don't even go to the gym anymore, and I have a lot of energy, right? Because I'm oxygenated. So, but I guess in hindsight, I'd look back, and I speak about energy, right? And what you put out there is what you can get. And I don't think I was trying to be cocky about it. I don't think I was. I was just trying to be matter of fact that I don't get sick, right? And I attributed it to this Wim Hof system, right? The cold showers, the cold training, the breathing, right? And like I said, very authentically saying, I haven't been sick until this week. So when I moved into a new place, and the owner of the house has been sick for well over a week, and she was constantly telling me, "Are you sure you don't, your throat's not sore?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine," right? And I would tell her, I have an immune system to take care of anything that would come my way, right? But I'm choosing not to experience those things, right? Because you can energetically put boundaries and say, "No, I don't want to experience that." So this week I got some kind of bug, whether it came from her or not, and I didn't get upset. There's no reason to get upset, but I didn't say, "Oh my God, all this training I've been doing for 2.5 years, and I still get sick," just like with that needle that they've been giving everybody, right? That you get 2 and 3 booster shots of it, and you still get that thing. Um, so, but I didn't let that come into my awareness. I didn't say, "Oh damn, this method doesn't work for me anymore. I'm getting too used to it. My body's getting too used to it." And those things can come in, and you should allow them to come in and question that, right? Because if I had sat with myself and been upset about it and said, "All right, maybe I need to shift," right? My body's gotten used to my cold training. My immune system's not fooled anymore. What can I cut out? Do I cut out the breathing technique every day? Do I cut out the cold training every day? Or do I find something new, right? To stimulate something different, right? Just like what you do when you're at the gym. You do legs, you do back, you do this, right? You don't do it all consecutively, because then your body gets used to it and you have no benefits from it. So I did think about that and I may look into another type of fight or flight practice that I can bring into my body just to give it that a little bit of something different now for it to continue to fight, right? Because just like us as human beings, our systems get complacent, right? They don't want to work anymore. All right, he's just going to do that again. We're used to it, right? So yeah, that's definitely one thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can add something to my routine to keep my body in fight or flight so that my immune system keeps working. But the benefit of all this and the realization, and what I want you to realize when you're on these cold training and breath work techniques, whether they're the Wim Hof technique or not, is that it's living proof, right? Here is a virus, let's call it. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm not going to medicate. I'm not going to over-the-counter prescription drug myself. I don't need to, right? First of all, we can heal ourselves. Whether I did the Wim Hof techniques or not, I wholeheartedly believe that I can heal my body. I can harness the energies that'll come in to give me the healing frequencies that I need through Reiki, through whatever means, right? There's energies all around us. That being said, this is a virus or an inflammation that my body doesn't recognize. And even though my immune system's heightened, it needs to learn what this is, right? So it's allowing me to experience this so that it can calculate and do all counter moves, right? So that the next time this virus or this infection or whatever this is comes back, my immune system will go, no, boom, shut you down. It didn't know to shut it down right now, right? It had to figure it out. So it's been about 2 days, 3 days. And yesterday was probably the worst of it. And I never felt, I didn't hurt. It's just phlegm and it's just stuffed up congestion. To me, it was an old cold, but it couldn't have been a common cold because my immune system's fought those off before. So whatever this is not common, first of all. And I'm not saying that I'm special because of it, but my immune system knows better. So this is something that's new, whether it's engineered or natural. There's no net. I'm not going to get into it, but I don't believe that there's natural viruses out there. We have our own antibodies. We have our own bacterias. So anything that gets produced comes from us anyway, unless it's engineered in a lab somewhere. But again, I'm not going to get into that here. But the point is that my immune system is hard at work right now, as we speak, figuring this out and handling it, right? It spikes up if I need a fever to release it. It's doing everything that it needs to do, checking off all the boxes that the immune system does to figure out what is this. Okay, I tried this, that didn't work. I tried this, that didn't work. Let me try a combination of these things, right? Just like when you go to the doctor. They put you on this medication. That one didn't work. Let's try this one. Let's up that dosage, blah, blah, blah. Our bodies do the same thing, naturally. It's true. And I've been turned on to this doctor, just came on one of my feeds, who's explaining all the systems in our body and what they do and how the different the foods that we eat are affecting that, especially the processed foods. That's why I said, I'm telling you what to do, but I don't eat processed foods anymore. I don't eat meat anymore. I'm not a vegan. I'm not going to label myself a vegan. I don't need that protein to fuel this body, because there's protein in everything, because protein's not what we think. Protein goes into our body, and it's the sugars from the protein that are protein, right? Or sugars from the meat, right? That become protein. So it's the sugar that's the protein. It's not the meat. It's not the chicken. It's not the pork. So I don't need that as a source of protein, because I can get those sugars that'll convert to protein from kale and from fruits and vegetables, which is what I prefer to eat. So no, I'm not a vegan. I'm finding the right fuel for this body. This body's an automobile. It's our automobile. From my perspective, I'm the spiritual light behind these eyes, right? I'm a soul in this body, driving this body, right? And as such, I have to put in the right things, just like we do in our vehicles. We put the gas, we put the oil, we put the transmission fluid, we check this, we check that, all of those things, right? We have to start feeding our bodies the right things, the right fuels. It's not food, it's fuel. That's what food is. So we have to put the right combinations of fuel, just like you do with your ethanol, into your car, whether it's high octane, low octane, whatever. We have to do the same for our bodies. And that's my choice, right? Didn't mean to get off on this tangent, but it's relevant, right? Because my immune system now has all of the things, the nutrients, the fuel to fix this problem. And it's not a problem, it's just an experience, right? So I'm allowing myself to have this experience. However, I'm not sitting in bed, like this, waiting for somebody to bring me a bowl of soup or hot tea or honey or whatever. No, my body's doing the job, right? And because I do these cold trainings, I stimulate all the neurons and whatever it is that produces serotonin and melatonin and whatever else that gives me that high, right? To stay alert, because my body's like, holy crap, what are you doing to me? So because of that, I'm not curled up in a ball. And also because I'm not putting those slow moving, slow metabolizing product into my body anymore. You don't realize it, but all those processed and sugars and meats, because the stuff that they're feeding the animals and the chemicals that they're treating the food that they're putting in the animals, all of that slows your metabolism down. So when you get sick, your immune system's been trying to fight what's in your metabolism and doesn't have the resources to allocate to take care of that virus or infection that's now come in. So now you have no choice but to, really slumber down, because your immune system's like, I can't help you, kid. You're not fueling me properly for me to help you. So I'm still a big proponent of the Wim Hof cold exposure training and his breathwork technique. And I'm going to look into another one. I want to add one to my repertoire. I'm not going to delete anything. I may slow down from every day to, every other day on one of those. Who knows? I haven't made that decision yet. But I think I'm going to introduce a new one, right? Just to get my body back, because you constantly have to evolve, right? You have to keep recognizing that my body's used to this. Let me not let it get complacent, so I can't be complacent. So I don't put the foods into my body that will make me complacent, that slow down my metabolism, that's unprocessed, that's heavily processed, that has no nutritional values to it, right? Where your body has to consume more to get the minutest of macronutrients. When if you put greens and whole foods into your body, it's loaded with macronutrients, and you don't have to eat as many, because your body's like, oh, slow down, dude. I got everything I need out of this, right, to keep your body going. It's my little lesson for today, but I really wanted to be authentic and say, hey, just because I put in all the good things into my body doesn't mean that at some point something's going to be introduced into the atmosphere or wherever it comes from that my body's going to have to go on high alert for. But because I'm feeding it properly and fueling it right, it's doing all the work. Like I said, in my past, yeah, I was one of those people that would lay in the bed and and you felt it, right? You didn't feel good. I have not felt good, if you know what that means. I haven't had those same feelings that I would have in the past, where even if I had a fever, you would have to get under a blanket till you sweat. Oh, I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't get any cold chills. It's just, whatever the throat thing is, and the congestion. And that's where you can hear it. There's a little pressure in my forehead. Other than that, I've had a bunch of energy, right? This afternoon I did take a nap, but that was conscientiously. I really felt that I may have been burning the candle at both ends a little bit lately, and then I needed to slow it down. That was me consciously doing that, not giving in to whatever this is and saying, oh, this thing's taking me. No, it's not taking me. I slowed down to give my body the opportunity to keep working, right? And that's what you need to do. That's an option that you have. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. All I can do is share my experiences, and if it inspires you to take action, awesome. And if you don't, you don't. And I don't judge you either way. But I'd be remiss if I didn't at least present it to you in a way that you can make a new decision now. Does what he says make sense, and should I look into it? And will I be willing to do the work, right? Because then you have to make a commitment to yourself. Not about me, it's about you now. Or go, oh, that was interesting stuff. Move on. Next. The choice is yours. Make it consciously, right? Make sure you know that you had an opportunity to shift something in your life, but you chose to stay comfortable. That's the truth. That's authentic. You're making a choice to stay where you are. So, time to make new choices. From my perspective, you don't have to. But even though I believe I'm doing I hate that word, believe. Even though I know I'm doing what's right for my physical body, mental body, and yet there's some times that I don't do the right things, but I make those choices, right? But I know that in the end I'm doing everything that I need to, but I need to keep evolving and keep changing and shifting, right? When my body goes, oh, we've practiced that so much, it's just is what it is now. We don't need to work for you anymore. Well, I want to keep my body working for me, right? Because I need this vehicle to transport me wherever I need to go. So I'm going to keep doing and finding little things to shift so that my body doesn't stop working, that my immune system doesn't stop working. That's my agenda for myself, right? Because I'm the only one I can do it for. I can tell you about it till I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't mean that I expect you to, follow my lead, or just if it inspires you, great. And if it doesn't, at least you know. There's a choice. It all comes down to choice. We all know it. So, if you're at a crossroads, where you're starting to research some things and things just don't add up, but you're still afraid to take a leap of faith, to do something about it, I might be able to help you. I am a spiritual transformation coach. I can help you identify the fears, right, behind what's keeping you from taking your leap of faith, so that you can do it with confidence and trust in yourself. That's what it takes. So check out my website, hit me up for a free 30-minute decompression session. Also, if you're, on your spiritual awakening path and you feel kind of alone and you don't have anybody to share your experiences with, I did create a meetup group. Here's a link for that, where at least twice a week I do things that there's shares, right? So that everybody can share what they're going through, so that others of us that haven't experienced those things can go, hey, that makes sense to me, or share what you do to stay on your path. It's all about community, right? And the unity of that. But finding your soul tribe and staying connected to like-minded souls is what the intention is. So if you're looking for somebody to just connect with, go for it. Just attend one of the Zooms. It doesn't cost anything. Sometimes it does, but most times it doesn't. And if you like the contents of this video, please like it, hit that thumbs up, share it. Other people might benefit from this message. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought about it. If it's something that you're considering doing, or if you want more information on it, I'd be glad to give you my resources. And subscribe to my channel to get instant notification of when I post my videos. and I cover a broad spectrum of topics. So if it resonates for you, great, and if it doesn't, check out one of the other videos. That one might. All right, I appreciate you so much. You can heal yourself. I am, as I speak to you right now, healing my own body because I can. My immune system is going to work for me as we speak, and yours can too. Just have to make better choices about the fuel that you put into your body. So take that leap of faith for yourself. Fuel your, spirit, your mind, your body, your soul with the things that your spirit, your soul is craving, that this body needs, right? And the rewards, you don't need anybody to pat you on the back because you're doing the work for yourself. So you don't need validation from anybody else. Validation from yourself is the most important thing. And being your authentic self is too. So continue to be your authentic self, or striving to become your authentic self. And have an amazing day.